Former vice president at Goldman Sachs gave up her dream job in hopes of helping others have a shot at their dreams.
Jessica Formosa was here to tell us about the secret that she has now decided to share with the rest of the world. Jessica.
Good evening, Dari and Steve. Julissa Arce is the definition of the American dream. She lived as an undocumented immigrant for 15 years. She was undocumented when she accepted the job at Goldman Sachs. Even though she lived in fear, she was determined to accomplish her goals. 33-year-old Julissa Arce lived in the shadows for most of her life. She was born in Mexico. In 1986, her father and mother decided to come to America and left 3-year-old Julissa behind. Her parents imported sterling silver from Mexico to the U.S. and sold it at trade shows. Both were here legally with visas. When Julissa turned 11 years old, her parents brought her to live with them in Texas.
I came to the country using a tourist visa.
But 3 years later, that visa expired.
I became undocumented.
When did you understand what exactly being undocumented meant?
When I was applying to college, because even though I graduated in the top 5% of my high school, I was rejected from every single college I applied to because I didn't have a 9-digit social security number.
However, things were about to change. Texas passed a law that would allow undocumented immigrants to go to college and pay in-state tuition. She went off to the University of Texas in Austin to pursue a finance degree.
I also developed this really somewhat naive idea that if I could become rich, then maybe I could fix my immigration status.
Selling funnel cakes, making just enough to pay for tuition. But that soon came to an end. She was faced with a decision.
My choices were I drop out of school or I figure out a way to get a job and continue my education.
She was determined not to let the sacrifices her parents made go to waste. That's when she decided to get fake documents.
I was incredibly desperate.
Julissa never imagined she would use those documents, but an opportunity came her way, an internship at Goldman Sachs. She applied and got it. After graduation, they gave her a full-time position. She quickly rose up the ranks from analyst to vice president, 27 years old and making $340,000 a year. Did you ever tell them? Did they ever find out?
No, when I became a VP, I did already have my green card, but for a large majority of the time that I worked at Goldman, I didn't have the right legal documents.
Now telling the world her story, releasing her first book, My Underground American Dream. Why that title?
This word underground was really important to me because I do feel very much like I had to live my life in the underground. I had to live my life in the shadows.
Arce became an American citizen in August of 2014. In 2011, she left Goldman Sachs. She is now an author, public speaker, and advocate for immigrant rights and education equality. In 2012, she co-founded the Ascent Educational Fund, a scholarship for immigrant students here in New York City. And this is her book right here. Came out today. She will be at the Strands tonight at 7, signing and talking a little bit about the book.
Very good.
Amazing woman. What an inspiration.
Yeah,
She really is so brave too.
Yes, very brave.
In this climate to come out like that.
Yeah, for sure, right.
And whip smart to work for Goldman.
Yep, very smart.
Stuff. All right.